Welcome back, it's Rich, and in this episode, Rich reviews another classic, It's a Wonderful Life. Let's do it. Welcome back to Rich Reviews, no-nonsense movie chat from the UK. So Frank Capra's 1946 It's a Wonderful Life stars the awesome James Stewart and Donna Reed as our lovable George Bailey and Mary living in the crummy old town of Bedford Falls, trying their best to manage and keep afloat the family business, that being the Bailey Brothers Building and Loan Bank. On the other side of town, we have Mr. Potter, a competing rich businessman who'll stop at nothing to get rid of the thorn in his side, the Bailey Brothers, once and for all. It's a Wonderful Life is considered by many to be one of the greatest films of all time, and certainly the greatest Christmas film. Yet surprisingly, and for its long 78-year-old existence, there's still many that's not seen this absolute classic film that will make any grown man cry by the end. It's a compelling story that drives home the importance of what matters in life, that being life itself and the family and friends around you, and how you shape each person's life in a kind of butterfly effect fashion. For anyone watching this who's not seen it, I cannot stress enough that this should be the number one effort for you to watch this holiday. It's old and it's black and white, but it carries a charm that no other film can get close to ever since its release all those years ago. So the story follows our main lead James Stewart as George Bailey, who's spent his entire life giving of himself to the people of Bedford Falls. He's always longed to travel but never quite manages it, and it's always due to some business problem and normally revolving around preventing the rich skinflint Mr. Potter from taking over the entire town. All that prevents him from doing so is George's modest building and loan company, which was founded by his generous father. But on Christmas Eve, George's Uncle Billy loses the business's $8,000 cash in an envelope while intending to deposit it in the bank. Mr. Potter finds the misplaced money and hides it from Uncle Billy. The bank examiner discovers the shortage later that night, and George realises that we'll be held responsible and sent to jail, and the company will collapse, finally allowing Mr. Potter to take over the town. Thinking of his wife Mary, the 4 children, and others he loves would be better off without him and dead, he contemplates suicide, but the prayers of his loved ones result in his guardian angel named Clarence Oddbody coming to Earth to help him with the promise of earning his wings. He shows him what things would have been like if he had never been born. So is this really the classic masterpiece that it's made out to be? Does George Bailey fix everything and Clarence gets his wings? It's old and no colour, black and white, so is it any good? Well, let's talk about what worked. Relax everyone, yes, it is good. And being old and in black and white just adds to the charm of the film itself. James Stewart plays the lead role perfectly. He gives a truly convincing performance as George Bailey. He really sells the frustration of his life to the point of his attempted suicide, and also the sheer joy of life once the end comes round. It's a masterful performance and it's acted very realistically, whereas some films of this age, even some classics, can have a kind of odd overemphasised suggestion to them, kind of like old sports commentators or 1950s radio commercial advertisement speakers. He's in pretty much every scene of the entire film, and the story really focuses and fixes on him and him alone as the key narrative from start to finish, never veering off on some odd tangent. The supporting cast all round too, from his wife Mary to Clarence the Angel, Mr. Potter, Bert the policeman, Mr. Gower, the drugstore manager, and many more, all give great performances in a split way from when they know George in the normal reality to when they don't know George in his I wish I wasn't born reality. And it's quite striking just how their lives are shown to be affected in a believable way should he have never interacted with them. It's clever writing and acting all round, and it works so well. The more you watch this, the more connections you'll see too. The film takes a long time to get to the key part of the suicide attempt, and then everything that changes from that point onwards. It's probably about 2/3, even 3/4 of the way through the film. It's a long time. All that initial time is spent building up so much, but it works perfectly. Once the wish kicks in though, everything changes like a complete alternate reality. You've spent so long with the town and its people, it really emphasises and helps you see the difference as if he was never born. It also emphasises the return once he withdraws the wish to live again, and the elation on his face and from yourself watching and your family watching is nothing short of pure happiness at its best. Nothing else matters from then in life to him, and in our reality too. I couldn't agree more. It provides a magical ending to George Bailey of nothing more than just being alive to enjoy his potential prison sentence. But then things take a turn and Clarence sorts things out and gets his wings. But what didn't work in this? Well, nothing really. There's nothing that I can pick about this. I liked everything about this film. To me, it really is just the ultimate kind of perfect film. I'd love to know what happened to the family, the business some years on maybe, what Potter's future in the town maybe became of, what happened to Violet and some other people. But I'm glad I didn't as well. It's the point of the film. It doesn't really matter. Nothing does, actually. You're alive and with your loved ones, so why care about anything else? That's the whole point. So for me, everything just worked. So my final thoughts, this is an easy 5 out of 5, and it should be for anyone too, young or old. Again, if you've never seen this, I cannot stress enough to take a break from the usual Marvel and Star Wars stuff that I also love a lot, and watch something different. Watch this on a comfy sofa with someone you love, with the heating on, eating snacks, switch off your phone for 2 hours, and you will appreciate this one. I'm really jealous as well if you've never seen this, just to how you'd react to this. It's probably on over the holidays on normal telly and probably can be streamed at pretty much every place too, so there's no excuse. So what do you think of It's a Wonderful Life, and have you even seen it? I'd be curious to know if you've not. Leave a comment below, but until next time, keep smiling, peeps.